The room buzzed with anticipation, a palpable energy coursing through the air. It wasn't every day that Donald Trump, the people's champion, hosted a dinner at his opulent Mar-a-Lago estate, a place synonymous with power and influence. But this night was different. Among the familiar faces of loyalists and advisors sat a woman who had become both a lightning rod and a loyal soldier, Laura Loomer, a figure as controversial as she was compelling. Her presence, a testament to Trump's embrace of those deemed too extreme by the establishment, sent shockwaves through the media, igniting a firestorm of commentary and speculation. This was not just a dinner, it was a declaration. Trump was sending a clear message. Laura Loomer was someone he considered an ally, a kindred spirit in the battle against the status quo. The mainstream media, predictably, went into overdrive, their headlines screaming with sensationalism. They couldn't resist the opportunity to paint Trump as a radical for associating with Loomer, a woman they loved to label as a far-right provocateur, a disruptor of the political norm. But their cries fell on deaf ears among Trump's base, who saw through the media's narrative. To his supporters, Loomer was a fearless truth-teller, a warrior battling the same deep state forces they believed were aligned against Trump, a beacon of unfiltered honesty. Her presence at Mar-a-Lago wasn't a scandal, it was a badge of honor, a symbol of their shared defiance. The dinner, however, was more than just a media spectacle. It was a strategic move by Trump, a way to solidify his support among the most fervent wing of the Republican Party, a calculated play in the game of political chess. It was a strategic move by Trump, a way to solidify his support among the most fervent wing of the Republican Party, ensuring their loyalty and enthusiasm. Loomer, with her massive online following and her no-holds-barred approach, had become a powerful voice in conservative circles, a force to be reckoned with. By aligning himself with her, Trump was tapping into that energy, consolidating his base and sending a message to his opponents. You can try to silence us, but we will not be ignored. This was a partnership forged in the fires of controversy and mutual respect. As the night went on, the conversation flowed freely, ideas and strategies exchanged with fervor. Trump, known for his love of attention, seemed energized by Loomer's presence, her fiery spirit a match for his own. They discussed the issues animating the base election integrity, immigration, the fake news media, and the future of their movement. Loomer, never one to shy away from a fight, undoubtedly offered her unfiltered opinions, her words fueling Trump's own firebrand rhetoric, their synergy undeniable. The message was clear. Trump and Loomer were united in their fight against a common enemy, their alliance a testament to their shared vision and unyielding resolve. Laura Loomer's path to becoming a fixture in Trump's orbit was anything but conventional. Her journey was marked by bold moves and a relentless drive to make her voice heard. Born and raised in Arizona, Loomer's early life offered no hint of the political firebrand she would become. The quiet suburban life seemed far removed from the stormy political arenas she would later navigate. She was, by all accounts, an average American girl, her days filled with school, friends, and the carefree spirit of youth. Her childhood was a tapestry of typical experiences, from playing in the schoolyard to studying for exams. But beneath the surface, a fierce intellect and a strong sense of justice simmered, waiting for the right moment to ignite. Her passion for reading and learning hinted at a deeper curiosity about the world. After graduating high school, Loomer attended Barry University in Florida, a decision that would prove fateful. The university environment provided a fertile ground for her burgeoning political consciousness. It was in the Sunshine State, a hotbed of political activism, that Loomer's worldview began to solidify. Surrounded by diverse opinions and heated debates, she found herself increasingly drawn to conservative ideologies. She became increasingly disillusioned with what she perceived as liberal bias in academia and the media, her frustration growing with each passing semester. The more she read and observed, the more determined she became to challenge the status quo. It was during these formative years that the seeds of her future activism were sown. Engaging in debates and attending political seminars, she sharpened her arguments and honed her skills. Loomer's entry into the world of politics was anything but subtle. She burst onto the scene with a fervor that was impossible to ignore. She made a name for herself through a series of attention-grabbing stunts, often designed to expose what she saw as hypocrisy on the left. Her tactics were bold, controversial, and undeniably effective in drawing attention. While attending Barry University, she disrupted a campus event featuring a Palestinian activist, accusing the speaker of supporting terrorism. This incident was just the beginning of her confrontational style. The incident, captured on video and shared widely online, catapulted Loomer into the national spotlight, turning her into a hero among conservatives and a villain among liberals. The viral nature of the video amplified her message far beyond the university campus. Her newfound notoriety opened doors. She began to network with influential figures and organizations within the conservative movement. She landed a job at Project Veritas, a conservative activist group known for its undercover sting operations targeting liberal organizations and media outlets. This role was a perfect fit for her investigative zeal. It was here that Loomer honed her skills as a provocateur, using hidden cameras and confrontational tactics to expose what she believed were liberal biases and agendas. Her work required a blend of courage, cunning, and a willingness to push boundaries. Her work for Project Veritas, while controversial, further cemented her status as a rising star in the conservative movement, attracting the attention of powerful figures like Donald Trump. Her ascent was rapid, fueled by her unyielding commitment to her cause. While Laura Loomer's early activism focused on exposing what she saw as liberal hypocrisy, her rhetoric took a darker turn in the years that followed. Initially, she gained attention for her bold and unfiltered approach, but this soon morphed into something more troubling. She began to embrace conspiracy theories, promoting unfounded claims about a range of issues, from the 9/11 attacks to the Parkland school shooting. These theories were not just fringe ideas but were deeply harmful and divisive. Her descent into the world of conspiracy theories alarmed many who had initially been drawn to her outspokenness, leading some to question her judgment and credibility. The shift was stark and unsettling for those who once saw her as a fearless advocate. One of Loomer's most controversial claims centered around the 9/11 attacks. She didn't just question the events but suggested a sinister plot involving the highest levels of government. She repeatedly questioned the official narrative of the event, suggesting that the US government may have had prior knowledge of the attacks or even played a role in orchestrating them. These claims were not only baseless but also deeply offensive to the victims and their families. She amplified these baseless claims on social media, using her platform to spread misinformation and sow doubt about one of the most tragic events in American history. Her reach on social media allowed these dangerous ideas to spread far and wide. Loomer's embrace of conspiracy theories extended beyond 9/11. She delved into various other controversial and unfounded claims, each more shocking than the last. She became a vocal proponent of the birther conspiracy theory, which falsely claimed that former President Barack Obama was not born in the United States. This theory had been debunked numerous times, yet Loomer continued to promote it. She also promoted conspiracy theories about the Parkland school shooting, suggesting that the event was staged or that the survivors were crisis actors. These claims were particularly hurtful to the grieving families and the survivors who were trying to heal. Her willingness to spread these harmful and unfounded claims alienated many and raised concerns about her mental stability. People began to wonder if her actions were driven by genuine belief or a desire for attention. Despite the backlash, Loomer remained undeterred, doubling down on her conspiratorial beliefs. She seemed to thrive on the controversy, using it to further her narrative of being a persecuted truth-teller. She saw herself as a truth-teller, a lone voice willing to challenge the official narrative and expose the lies she believed were being peddled by the government and the media. This self-image only fueled her determination. Her embrace of conspiracy theories, however, had a corrosive effect on public discourse, undermining trust in institutions and fueling dangerous divisions within society. The impact of her actions was far-reaching, contributing to a climate of suspicion and hostility. Section 4. A complicated alliance. Loomer in Trump's orbit. Laura Loomer's unwavering support for Donald Trump and his policies drew her further into his orbit. She became a fixture at Trump rallies, her fiery rhetoric and confrontational style mirroring the former president's own. Trump, for his part, seemed to relish the attention Loomer brought him, often retweeting her posts and praising her as a warrior for his cause. Their relationship, however, was not without its complexities. While Trump appreciated Loomer's loyalty and her ability to energize his base, he also recognized that her extreme views and penchant for controversy could be liabilities. There were times when he seemed to distance himself from her, particularly after she made particularly inflammatory remarks. Despite the occasional tension, Loomer remained a staunch Trump loyalist. She traveled with him on his campaign plane, attended rallies across the country, and used her platform to fiercely defend him against his critics. Her unwavering support earned her a place of influence within Trump's inner circle, giving her access to the former president and his advisors. Loomer's relationship with Trump was a testament to the former president's willingness to embrace those who shared his worldview, even if their views were considered extreme or outside the mainstream. Her presence in his orbit, however, also raised questions about the company Trump kept and the potential influence of fringe figures on his presidency. Section 5. A House Divided, Reactions from the Right. Laura Loomer's rise to prominence within the Republican Party was met with mixed reactions from within the conservative movement. While some embraced her as a fearless truth-teller and a champion of conservative values, others viewed her as a liability, her extreme views and confrontational tactics alienating potential allies and damaging the party's image. Loomer's supporters, many of whom were drawn to her unwavering support for Trump and her willingness to challenge what they saw as liberal orthodoxy, celebrated her rise. They viewed her as a refreshing voice in a party often accused of being too cautious and accommodating to the left. To them, Loomer represented the future of the Republican Party, a new generation of conservatives unafraid to speak their minds and fight for their beliefs. Others within the party, however, were less enthusiastic. They recognized Loomer's appeal to a segment of the Republican base but worried that her extreme views and inflammatory rhetoric would alienate moderate voters and damage the party's brand. They saw her as a distraction, someone who generated headlines but did little to advance conservative principles or win elections. The debate over Loomer's place within the Republican Party highlighted the growing divisions within the conservative movement. Her rise to prominence exposed the fault lines between those who believed the party needed to moderate its message to appeal to a broader electorate, and those who believed it should double down on its core principles, even if it meant alienating some voters.